Welcome to Kathy's Eclectic Garden. I'm Kathy and I garden in zones 5B, 6A in Northwest Ohio. And today we are going to be setting up a new weather station. So let's get to it. Today we're going to install a weather station in our garden in the backyard, and I'm going to install it on a post. I found this old post at the 127 garage sale this year. I got it for $10. I said, this is what I need to mount our weather station on in the backyard. We're not sure whether this post came out of an old house. We think it may have come out of an old church. This would have been the back side. That's at the end of a stairway. The railings would have attached here. We think it may have been part of a church altar where they had a short wall area at the front of the church, and this was on the end. But this part here is called the box newel. I had to look all this up because I didn't know this. This is the rosette, and a lot of these would have what they call a finial on the top, which would have been like a fleur-de-lis or just a round ball. This we don't think had that because there's nothing on the top that looks like there was anything screwed into it. This is the location where we're going to be putting the weather station, and this is a 3x3 post, and I'm going to be using my auger to drill a hole to put this post in, and then the newel will be slid over the top of this, and that's what will hold it. Now, we're not putting any concrete or anything in the bottom of this because this may not be where we leave this permanently. We're going to just try it out this winter and see how it does, and if we like it here, then we'll put a more permanent post in. I'm going to be using my 3-inch power planter drill auger and my DeWalt hammer drill. It's a 20-volt 5-amp to auger the hole, and I've got a video that I did on this power planter and drill, and I'll put a link to that into the description. Okay, here we go. I've got the hole drilled as far as I'm going to drill it, and I'm going to put a few rocks here in the bottom, just enough to cover the bottom of the hole. That should be good there for drainage. This is the weather station we're going to be installing. We have one just like this on our front deck. Our front yard and our backyard are two totally different microclimates. So we wanted to have a weather station in the backyard where all my plants are, and we wanted them to be the same, so we bought the exact same model. This gives us a forecast, the wind speed, temperature and humidity. It also gives us the time and date. Also, I want to let you know, this is a Crosse technology weather station. We are not affiliated with them in any way. They are not sponsoring this video, and I am receiving no monetary value. They did not supply me with this. I went to Menard's and bought it. I have no connection with them. We're back. It's 2 days later. Had a little technical difficulty. The microphones went dead. I don't want to name any names, but my husband forgot to charge the microphones, so we got that taken care of, and we're going to come out the next day and finish this up. And then it rained, so it was 2 days ago that we started this video. After the mics went dead, I decided to finish setting up the weather station. I wanted to see how it was going to work, and I'm glad I did because I learned a few things. So let's just get into it now. This is the setup manual that comes with the weather station, and it is just a setup manual. It will help you get things put together and ready to go, but you may need to download the manual off of the computer to get all of the little details, and we'll get into that a little bit later. This is the temperature and humidity sensor. This you will need to place preferably facing north is what they recommend. It is battery run. It takes 2 AA batteries. And right up here, you can see this little switch. It has 3 different modes, 1, 2, and 3. It comes preset on 1, and that's you probably won't need to change this. This was our second weather station. The first one was set on 1, so we wanted this one set on a different channel so that they didn't interfere with each other. So we switched this one to 2, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. This is the wind sensor. It takes 2 C batteries, and it slides into a tube that is on the mounting bracket, and this just screws in. And it has a sensor here so that you'll know that it's working. So this will flash red. And this is the monitor that you put inside, and this tells you your readings. It has your temperature and humidity reading, and it has an indoor reading. These are the buttons that are on the top of the monitor. There is an alerts button, and there are instructions in the setup manual that tell you how to set it up for alerts. You can have it alert you when a certain temperature is reached or a certain wind speed is reached. Then there's a temp button, the wind button. Here is the setup button over here, and when you press that, it'll come up on the screen, and each function will come up that you set the date and the time, and these are the buttons to adjust the date and the time, and this is the button to turn the backlight on. Once you get it set up, it doesn't tell you in the setup manual that I could find, but you will need to hold this temp button down so that it will sync to this sensor. So if you just hold it down, and it'll beep, and then you have to do the same thing with the wind button for the wind sensor that I just showed you. Just hold that down, hold that button down, and it'll beep, and then they will sync to each other. Here's the post that we put in the other day. You watched us drill a hole for that, and I put rocks in the bottom of it for drainage. And like I said then, may not be the permanent spot for this, but it's in there pretty good. I can't move it. So a Melanthus webworm flew up on my agastache, so we had to stop and picture a bug. I put a screw right here to attach the sensor to the north side of this post. This is going to be facing north. I also put a little piece of double-sided tape here because it was kind of moving back and forth. I didn't want it to get blown off, so we just put that on here, and it's hard to do. Here we go. Whoops, press that in, and there we've got our sensor all mounted. Now let's see if I can get this newel up over the top of this post. Now this is the north side, so we want that to go north. Now I've done this once and it wasn't this hard, so. Okay, here we go. So we'll just slide this down, right down to the ground, and that's all set. Okay, this is the mounting bracket, this bottom part here. I'm going to take this off and show you how you can mount this a different way. I've got this mounted on the top of a post, so I've got the mounting bracket this way. You can also turn the mounting bracket up vertically and mount it to the side of a post or the side of a wall, and if you do that, you may want to set your holder in a different direction. So that's how that works. And then you just screw it back in. Now this is the bracket that holds the wind sensor. So let me grab that. Now this is the wind sensor that we've talked about, and this just threads. You just drop this right down into here, and that just screws right in. Now I tried to set this so that that sensor was on this side facing my house, because I've got a window back there where I'll be able to look out and see this. And that's all there is to setting this up. As I said earlier, we know we have different microclimates in the front of our house and the back of our house, and that's why we wanted to have a weather station in each area. And this new weather station is pretty much in the middle of my garden, so it's got plants all around it. And we've noticed that there is about a 10 to 12% difference in the humidity between the front yard sensor and the backyard sensor. The temperature seems to run about the same. I hope you enjoyed this video and understand now how easy it is to set up a weather station in your own backyard. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.